Hi there, in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to build a Google Form from scratch. Google Forms is a free and great tool to collect valuable information from people across the world. After watching this tutorial, you'll know everything about Google Forms, from the available form fields to the customization of settings and finally reviewing responses. So without any ado, let's get started. So step 1, log into Google Forms. You can search for Google Forms in the Google search bar, or you can use the drop-down menu right next to your profile icon and then select Forms. This will take you to the Google Forms dashboard where you can create a blank form, or you can also use a free template from the template gallery. For this tutorial, let's create a basic application form with a blank form option. Let's rename this to be XYZ application form and also change the title of the form to be application form. Next up, we have to add the necessary fields into this form, such as name, email address, and everything that is required to create a basic application form. Form fields are the blank spaces where the users have to type their answers or choose their option or upload files. So by default, Google Forms will have an untitled question. Once you select that, you can rename it to be, for example, name. And underneath that, you can change it to be bold or italic, or you can even use links to redirect the user if they click on the link over there. And right next to the title, you will find this option called Add Inline Image. So with this, you can basically embed an image into the specific field. Let's upload an image. And with this option, you can create image choice questions. For example, you can ask, name this object as the question, and you can have several options over here. And right next to option, you can also embed an image as the option itself. So you can have a question and you can have multiple images as the options. And right next to this image icon, you will find a drop-down where you can change the type of this field. Right now, it is a multiple choice field where you have different options and a question. You can change this to a short answer. This is perfect for collecting details such as name, email, and any other short form answers from the respondent. Then we have paragraph. This will be great for collecting feedback or comments. And then we have multiple choice, which will allow us to add multiple options to a particular question, and the user can only select one. Then we have checkboxes, which will allow the user to select multiple options for a specific question. And we have dropdown. This will basically hide the options as a dropdown menu, which will help us save space in the form. Then we have file uploads. This will allow the respondent to upload a file. We can set a maximum of 10 GB as the file upload size, or 1 MB as the minimum file upload size. And we can also select the maximum number of files that a user can upload. Then we have the linear scale. This is great for rating based questions. For example, on a scale of 1 to 5, how happy are you? You can select the scale over here from 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. And you can also provide the label over here, 1 being worst or 1 being the best, 5 being the best. Then we have rating. This is very similar to the linear scale, and here we can have stars and other emojis as well. Then we have multiple choice grid. So basically this will allow you to ask multiple related questions in a tabular format with the questions as rows. You can enter the questions over here and the answers as columns. So if I add another column over here and then preview this, so it will look like this. So the question will be over here and then the options will be here. The user can select a particular option, and this will basically allow you to organize the entire questionnaire into a tabular format, which will be much more easy for analysis. Then we have checkbox grid. This is very similar to multiple choice grid, where in this case, the user can select multiple answers for a specific question. And then we have date, and then we have time. So you can use the date time to let the respondent set a particular date. This will be great for collecting date of birth and etc. And also time. And here you can duplicate the question, you can remove the question, you can make this required. And if you click on these 3 dots, you can select the description, you can change the answer type as well. Now let's go ahead and add the necessary fields into this application form. We'll start with name. For this, we'll use a short answer field. And we'll call it name. We'll also remove this image. Now to add another field, simply click on this plus icon. Here we will collect our email. This will also be a short answer. So I have added all the necessary fields into this form. We have name, we have email, phone, and we have position or role applying for. And then we have why do you want to apply for this role, and then available start date, and then a multiple choice question, and then their experience. And finally, we have upload your resume or CV. Now, if you want to change the positioning of a field, for example, let's say I want the available start date to be right above the upload your CV, simply click on it and drag it to the correct position. Now let's go ahead and customize the design of this form. To customize the theme, simply click on this design icon in the label. And here we can change the font. Right now this is open sans. We can change this to be Arial. And we can also do the same for the question and also the answers. And here we can upload our header image. So here you can upload your logo over here. And for the form color, you can choose the color that is existing over here, or you can, to match your brand, you can paste your color code over here and click add. So the design looks great. Now let's move on to the settings. So Google Forms has many interesting settings which can help us save a lot of time if we use it properly. So let's go to the settings tab and explore one by one. So first up, we have make this a quiz. With this feature, we can assign scores to options in individual multiple choice questions or any other choice based questions. And we can also show feedback back to the respondent after the submission. So let's toggle this on and go back to the question to see how we can assign scores. So we have a multiple choice question over here, and we can set up the answer key over here. Once we click on the answer key, we can assign a score, let's say 2, and we can select the right answer. And we can also add answer feedback. For incorrect answers, we can provide a feedback, and for correct answers, we can provide a feedback and a URL and also a link to the video. Next up, we have responses. With the features under responses, we can basically control how the users can interact and fill out the form. So first we have collect email address. By default, this is set to be verified. If we set this to be do not collect, that means the user does not have to sign into their Google account or enter their email address to submit their form. And this is great for making your Google form anonymous. And if we set this to be verified, that means they have to sign into a Google account in order to start filling out this form. And we can also ask for an email address in order to start filling out this form. Next, we have send responders a copy of their submission. If we set this to be always, it will automatically send a respondent copy of the submission. Then we have allow response editing. If we toggle this on, the submitter can edit their response even after submitting the form. Then we have limit to one response. If we set this to be on, then the users cannot submit multiple submissions and they will be limited to only one response. And here we can set a maximum file size to be 1 TB or 100 GB. Then we have presentation. So with the features under presentation, we can basically add some dynamic elements such as progress bar, or we can shuffle the question order to be randomized, or we can add a custom thank you message to be shown once the respondent clicks on the submit button. And we can also disable autosave for all respondents. So the users will lose their progress if the browser closes or refreshes. This is very important for official contracts and time-sensitive forms. So the form looks good. Let's go ahead and publish this. Let's click on the publish button. And this will open up this UI where you can basically manage who can edit this form or who can fill out this form. So if you want people to edit this form, you can change the editor view to be anyone with a link or keep it restricted. And if you want people to fill out this form, then keep anyone with a link. This will basically make it public and anyone can fill out this form. Once you're set up with the managing permissions, click done and then hit publish. Now let's copy this link. We can also shorten this. Let's copy this and open it in a new tab. So let's start filling out the details. Let's hit submit. So let's go back to the Google Forms dashboard to see the responses. So I'm in the dashboard and let's click on responses. And here you can see all the responses. First up, we have the summary analytics. So this basically summarizes all the responses that the particular form has gathered, and you can see the statistics, the overall responses, which person, how many responses have occurred for a specific question. Then we have question-based analysis. So basically, we can filter based on a specific question and then look at the response and basically look at their individual response as well. And here you can link this to Google Sheets for better management. And you can also download this and print it or delete all responses. And one more thing, you can also set up email notifications to be received whenever a new submission takes place. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you found this to be valuable. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. As always, I will see you in the next one.